Okay, so one last example here of converting a complex number into polar form. So here we've got 3 minus I squared. Sorry, I had a little ink run off there, a little dot. So 3 minus I squared. The first thing I'm going to do here is rewrite this as something a little more familiar. So I'm actually going to just distribute everything out. So 3 times 3, that's 9. We would get a negative 3i and a negative 3i. That would give us negative 6i. A negative and a negative makes a positive. I times I will be I squared. Well, I squared is the same thing as negative 1. So really we have 9 minus 1. 9 minus 1 would give us 8 minus 6i. So there's our complex number that I'm going to graph and think about. So again, it says you basically go over to the real part. You'd go over 8 units. We would go down 6 units. And so there would be our complex number, 8 minus 6i. So we'll have to do a couple things again. We have to figure out the modulus, which will be our R value. So the modulus in this case will just be 8 squared plus negative 6 squared. Well, that'll be 64 plus 36. 64 plus 36 is 100. The square root of 100 is just 10. Okay, so the other thing that we'll have to do is we're going to have to figure out our angle theta. So we're interested in the angle, but what I'm going to do is maybe I'll call this alpha. We'll figure out this angle first. So let's see here. So there's our angle alpha. This side would have a length of 8. This side of our triangle would have a length of 6. Well, we can get alpha by using tangent. So tangent's going to be the opposite over the adjacent. So 6 over 8, or 3 over 4, or I guess 0.75. So I'm going to take the inverse tangent of both sides, just to get the angle in this case for alpha. So let's see, 0.75, inverse tangent of that. I'm getting alpha to be roughly 36.87 degrees. We could always round this off. I guess we'll round it off in this case to 37 degrees. Well, so the true angle here for theta would be 360 degrees minus 37 degrees. And I believe that's going to give us 323 degrees. So it says, again, our complex number, we can write our complex number, where'd we go, as r times cosine theta plus I sine theta. So we figured out our theta value is 323. We said our R value was equal to 10. So now just filling in again this formula one more time. See if we can get it all in here. I don't think so. How about that? So it says Z would equal R, which is 10. And then we'll have cosine of 323 degrees. Plus I times sine of 323 degrees. Okay, so some of these can be a little more tedious simply because you've got to actually, rewrite your complex number in the first place. But after that, the modulus isn't bad. It's just, really Pythagorean theorem. Set up a little right triangle using tangent. Eventually you may have to use inverse tangent. And then again, just based on what quadrant you're in, you may have to add 180, subtract 180, or do whatever to get the correct angle. But then it's just a matter of just throwing everything into the formula, and you're finished.